Hello, fellow lore sages. It's me, DMPaulG, Paul Gabbett, and it's time for another episode stream of Lore Academia. Oh my god, my camera is falling apart. Let's try to fix that. I don't know how. Okay, I guess we'll stick with that. We'll stick with that. Hello. And yeah, welcome to Lore Academia. What's going on with this? It's like, there we go. It's fixed. All you have to do is just tap it and it's good to go. Like how you fix most things. Anyway, welcome to the stream. It's Wednesday. If you haven't watched D&D Direct, I think there's like a VOD on Twitch and on you could see it on YouTube as well. Some not some, but there's a lot of D&D related news that just occurred in the span of 30 minutes. And we already know that we're getting a Planescape book, but we got a bit more details about that. We're also getting like a Big Beast book in terms of D&D tabletop RPG stuff. We're also getting like a Big Beast tabletop Big Beast book about giants, right? And then we're also gonna go back to Fendelver, and I think we're gonna start to learn more about those obelisks. If you played a lot of D&D 5th edition hardcover adventures, you'll see that in a lot of those adventures, there's just like an obelisk that's just like in a random location, doesn't actually do anything. We thought it was just like some future hook that Wizards of the Coast can use, and I guess that's what they're doing now, or for DMs to use. But now we'll learn their purpose, and hopefully, or that's the speculation. So that's the Fendelver one, and then there's another one. I think that's the heist book. I think. What else was new in the D&D Direct video? We have some Minecraft monsters that now have like D&D stats. Yes, so D&D and Minecraft partnered up. So if you're a fan of Minecraft, you go to D&D Beyond, there's like a free monster compendium that you can download, and you can see some Minecraft monsters that now have some D&D stats. And then we have, of course, a D&D movie. We also have like the characters from the D&D movie having like Magic the Gathering cards, which is really, really cool. I have a lot of friends that have been asking me to go back and play Magic the Gathering, to play Commander. But I'm like, yeah, one hobby at a time, please, because I'm trying to open up some free time so I can do more stuff. But man, these games that are coming out, these hobbies getting better, all the cool stuff, and then more D&D stuff. It's insane. But you need a lot of time to play them, which is, it's a good problem to have. Meaning, you have a lot of these available for us to play, right? So there. Anyway, for those who are new here, if this is your first time being here in the stream, what I do is, together with the lore sages here in chat, is we read adventures and we extract as much lore as we can about them. For example, or actually right now, we're trying to extract as much Moonshae Isles lore as we can. Okay, so that's why we're reading the Rising Shadows storyline, which is produced by Ballman Games, which also I'm a part of. I'm the new storyline lead for the Moonshae Isles together with Savannah Houston McIntyre. And of course, it's part of my job to know everything that has happened in the Moonshae Isles as much as possible. And I was like, you know what? Maybe other people want to learn with me, and that's why we're doing this, right? And yeah, so Rising Shadow is the latest set of events that have happened in the Moonshae Isles. Um, and that's what we're trying to learn. And it is composed of like 20 uh, trilogies, or not really, not all of them trilogies. Most of them are trilogies. But let me show you the story path that we have. There you go. So from Moon 1-1, we go like and each of these spheres below Moon 1-1 are trilogies. And then we go all the way down to Moon 20, which I think is just a single adventure. So there, but everything else is like composed of 3 adventures. And now we're on the 7th one. We're in Moon 7. So we're starting Moon 7 now. We'll see if we're out of the Isle of Aileron, if we're moving somewhere else, or we're still stuck there. Right? And then we're going to grind. As we stream every day, we're going to grind until we get down to Moon 20. And then after that, then we're going to try to read more documents, source books about the Moonshae Isles, or we might look at other settings or topics related to Dungeons and Dragons, right? So there. So now, since we're starting Moon 7, this is the first adventure, which is in the Moon 7 series, Moon7-1. It is called the Temple of the Beast. Yeah. I'm having a good feeling that we're going to be in a different island, hopefully in Moray. There's like a big wolf here. I'm thinking lycanthropes, thinking werewolves. We're going back to the Isle of Moray, where there's a group called the Black Blood Tribe, which is like a super, super mean group of, not mean is like, it's a light term to use for them, which is a group of lycanthropes that just basically kills, massacres like the people out there in the Isle of Moray. So let's see. And this one is written by Christopher M. Sniezak. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. And let's see what this is all about. So as we read through this, we're going to skip some parts because, again, our goal is to extract as much lore as we can about the Moonshae Isles, right? And so we're going to, I keep on saying this, but I'm doing it anyway. We're going to skip on some technical stuff, any information where we may not gain some lore, like combat and combat adjustments, how to play certain parts, how to run them for the dungeon masters, things like that. Things that we know that will not get us any new information about the Moonshae Isles. All right, but again, a writer, I'm a storyline lead, so it's hard for me to do that, but we'll try. Okay. So let's see. The Temple of the Beast. The Temple of the Beast was one of the most dangerous temples kept by the old druids of the Earth Mother. Revering wild, unpredictable beasts came with much risk. Surviving its trials will be your undoing. Part 1 of the Temples of the Earth Mother trilogy. Oh, okay. A 2 to 4 hour adventure for tier 2 characters. So this is for level 5 to 10 characters. All right, let's see what's here. See what we have. Go to adventure primer background. There's no quote. All right. I love it when there's like a quote in a adventure, but I guess we don't have one here. The Temple of the Beast hasn't resurfaced so much as has been rediscovered deep in the Diurnal Forest. Oh no, we're still in the Isle of Aileron. Oof, let me just put that in my notes. Once a training ground for druids of the Earth Mother, it's now overgrown and corrupted by dangerous black roots that write and grab. They are the roots of a dark treant from the Shadow Fae. That place between the Feywild and the Shadowfell. Whoa, okay. Uh, actually, let's put it here. Shadow Fae. Place between the Feywild and the Shadowfell, which is feeding off the power of a moon well and dampening the ability of the Earth Mother to affect the Moonshae Isles. To make matters worse, the force of the Great Gark. Oh, okay, the Goblin King is still here. If you don't know about the Goblin King, again, you can watch our VODs, videos in YouTube. Follow us there. What's happening to my notes? There we go. And learn more about the Goblin King. Also known as the Great Gark, are aware of the Temple of the Beast, and they hope to claim the power of the Moonwell and make the Dark Treant an ally in the war against High King Darid Kendrick, the High King of the Folk. Alright. There are 3 episodes in this if you want to run it as a 2-hour adventure. Episode 1 is A Temple Discovered. The characters are asked to go to a temple discovered in the Durnal Forest by Fru Rutnog. Okay, this is the call to action. Let's write that NPC's name, and hopefully we can get more information later. So, Fru Rutnog. And in episode 2, the Temple of the Beast, the characters explore the Temple of the Beast, learning they need masks that allow them to shapeshift into animals to traverse the Moonwell portal into the Shadow Fae. Okay. And then we get to the Shadow Fae, the characters traverse the Moonwell portal into the Shadow Fae to confront and defeat corrupted Dark Treant and cleanse the corrupt Moonwell. Okay. Sequence, how will you play? It's 2 hours. We have, if you want to extend it, then we have bonus objectives that we can run. And let's see. The Dark Treant. The Dark Treant wishes to continue to feed and expand into the world, something that so far it has been doing very slowly. More problematic is the Great Gark, who has heard about the temple. One of his goblin patrols came too close to the temple and was killed by the roots. Another patrol discovered what happened to them, reported back, and now the Great Gark is looking to take the temple for himself. So the Dark Treant, I think that's what we call it, the creature. Wishes to feed and expand into the world. Slowly feed. All right. So we have the Dark Treant, and what do we have? Oh, we have episode flowchart. So, oh, this is different. All right, let's try to decipher this. So we start with a temple rediscovered, which is the call to action, and then we get to the Temple of the Beast, and I guess there are different tests inside the temple, which is the bonus objectives, the ones that are yellow, and each one is supposed to help us extend the play from 2 hours to 4 hours, or maybe this is gonna be 6 hours. All right. And then once we're done with Temple of the Beast, we can go to the Shadow Fae. Right? We unlock the next one, which is the Shadow Fae. I think that's the flow of this adventure. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start this. So we can. It looks like there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in this adventure. So let's go ahead and start reading. All right. Episode 1, A Temple Discovered. This is for 10 minutes. a druid's request. So we have another druid. The druids are kind of like instead of priests, clerics for the deities, we have the druids, kind of like the religious figures here in the Moonshae Isles, and they all worship, or most of them worship the Earth Mother, right? And if there is a grove or a place where there's a moon well, that is a sacred or a holy place for the druids, because again, the moon wells is a location of magic. It is covered in Earth Mother's magic, and as they say, Earth Mother peeks through the moon wells to see how the material plane or the Moonshae Isles is doing, right? And anything to keep the lands in eternal balance, she kind of transmits her powers through these moon wells that we have, all throughout the Moonshae Isles. Okay. So, Druid's request. The characters are approached by Fru Rotnog, a druid of the Earth Mother. She wants the characters, which is us, the adventurers, to cleanse the recently rediscovered Temple of the Beast before the Great Garg's forces can claim it themselves. Frug's friends and fellow druid, Branwen Moonsinger, learned of the temple from the Earth Mother. So we have another druid, Branwen Moonsinger. Druid of the Earth Mother. Also a druid of the Earth Mother. Okay. She said that she said she heard about the situation through a great silver stag. Wow, that told her the temple was in danger. She was also foretold a group of heroes would be found at the resting place of the Pikes, and these heroes could stop the great goblin of the Diurnal Forest from claiming the Temple of the Beast. Okay. So how do we set this up? So again, these adventure modules are written for dungeon masters. So there's going to be like tools, tips on how to run this adventure. And let's try to read through them if we can learn anything new about the Moonshae lore. Set the scene as the characters begin in the tavern known as the Silver Eye in the town of Lehigh. Places. So we have Silver Eye, a tavern in the town of Lehigh. Alternatively, ask the players what has brought them to the town, and this allows, for players to introduce their characters, how they got into Lehigh before the druid Fru makes or ruins their day with the adventure. Okay. Let's look at our super advanced map. And yeah, as you can see, we are still in the Isle of Alaron, right? Which is in the eastern part of the Moonshae Isles. And the seat of power is here in Caracaladir. This is where Hiking Darid Kendrick resides and his family, his house. And we have the Diurnal Forest, right? This is what they were talking about. That there's a moon well here. Most probably it's this one. Oops. Yeah, it's this one. And they said that we're starting in Lehigh, which is I'm trying to find. Where is that place? Am I blind? I'm not finding it. In the town of Lehigh. It's here somewhere. I've been there before. How come I can't find it? Oh, there. I see it. I hit it. It's right here. So it's inside. It's within Durnal Forest. Right? Because the road actually, like the High King's Road goes through Durnal Forest. And there are towns in between, kind of set like as like checkpoints and towns that kind of guards the High King's Road. So we're here at Lehigh, inside the Durnal Forest. This is where we're gonna start our adventure. Okay. Let's go back and read more. So if your characters need some reasons as to why they're adventuring, why they're here, why they are traveling, maybe it's for love. Fru appeals to the good nature of, or why they should accept the quest. Good nature of the characters and their desire to help secure a place of power for the Earth Mother and to not let the Great Gark get their hands on it. For money, Fru has coin enough to pay the characters if they can cleanse and secure the Moonwell for her. Okay. And this encounter happens in the small town of Lehigh in a small tavern called the Silver Eye. Okay. So, who are the creatures, NPCs that we interact with? So there are several commoners eating in the Silver Eye, but a half-orc wearing simple robes stand out amongst them. And I'm guessing this is Fru Rutnog. Frug is a half-orc druid sent as an emissary of Branwyn Moonsinger. Alright, to liaise with the characters regarding the return of the 5 temples. Oh, so it's actually... Yeah, so I'm starting to get it now. So Branwyn Moonsinger got information from the Earth Mother that the Great Gark, which is the Goblin King, was trying to take over the Temple of the Beast. So Branwyn sent Frug Rutnog to find adventurers like us to help prevent the Great Gark from taking over the temple. All right, I'm getting it now. But there are 5 temples. The Return of the 5 Temples. But we only have a trilogy here. All right, are we going to go like 1 adventure, 2 temples? So she is socially inept, prone to fits of anger, and uncouth in uncivilized company. Her objective, her goals. Frug needs to get the characters to cleanse the Moonwell. She knows they're the ones Branwood told her were prophesied. Oh, another prophecy. Great. To complete the task. She approaches them and explains that if they don't do this, a great dark forest is prophesied to spread across the lands of Alaron. Man, so many bad things are happening to the Moonshae Isles, which the Great Gark will rule from. If the characters agree to help, Frug gives them the location of the temple in the Durnal Forest, thanks them for doing this, and tells them she must leave. Why? You don't want to join us? She has pressing business. Oh, okay. As this isn't the only dire situation set in motion that needs her attention. Wow, there's really a lot of things happening in the Moonshae Isles. If our quest giver is so busy to join us, because there's other things happening out there. Okay. When they're finished, and assuming they survive, she asks them to meet her back in Lehigh. When she's done with her business, she'll return and wait for them. Okay, so our call to action is to cleanse the Temple of the Beast before the Great Gark can take it for himself. Sure, we can do that. Oh, is this going to be fast? Let's see if this is going to be faster. It's a long adventure. Episode 2, The Temple of the Beast. This is a 90-minute portion of the adventure. An hour and a half. That's long. Okay. In this episode, the characters explore the Temple of the Beast, one of the 5 temples, right? Learn they must acquire animal masks that allow them to transform into beast and traverse the Moonwell portal. And acquire those masks from the temple's test before they force the forces of the Great Gark do. Alright, I think that's a typo. Alright. So we have another Moonwell that got corrupted and also being used as a portal. This is starting to become a common theme in these Rising Shadow adventures. We have a lot of portals, a lot of Moonwells being used, being corrupted, and being used as portals. All right, either for good or for bad stuff. Anyway, story objective A: acquire the animal mass before the forces of the Great Gark do. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Setup: you can have the characters travel straight to the temple without any encounters along the way. They learn how to get there from Frug Rotnog, our druid quest giver, so it's not hard to find. There's a map of Alaron, which we looked at already, and then we have a map of the beast, which we'll look at now, Appendix 3B. When we see it, Appendix 3B. Oh, wow, this is big. Temple of the Beast. Where's the entrance of the temple? Is this a mountain? And then there's a labyrinth. And then it goes to the Badger Spirit. There are pillars here that goes to Stairs of the Bat. And there's the field. What else do we have here? Thinking this is a oh no, it's a Moonwell. It's a Moonwell at the center, and then there are like dark roots coming out, or is this like a big tree? We'll figure it out later. I'm just assuming stuff. All right, the field, floating platforms, the big bad wolf, the wolf's den, and then we have the Shadow Fae area. Cool stuff. Okay. And then there are tests that we have to do. Different animals. Deer, badger, bat, and wolf. Okay. Got it. So let me fix this again. If I can figure out how. There you go. Where were we? So that's the map of the Temple of the Beast. Here we go. We get more information. So dimensions and terrain. The Temple of the Beast is inside an impossibly large hollow tree trunk. Okay, it's a tree. Within the tree is the Moonwell. All right, I was right. And the 5 doorways that lead into the earth beneath. Large black roots are growing out of the Moonwell. I'm right again. All right, and snaking through the entirety of the temple. Each of the wooden doorways is framed with carvings of animals. From left to right, they are as follows: bat, wolf, otter, badger, and deer. The otter doorway is so filled with black roots that it is impassable, but the other 4 can still be entered. These doorways lead to the test of the druids of the Earth Mother once took to learn how to be shapeshifters of the land. Oh, this is like druid training. And now we have to go through the same training to be able to transform and get to the Shadow Fae. Nice. Lighting. And the sunlight and moonlight from the outside filters into the tree. And then the light emanates from the Moonwell at the center of the area. Okay. And then black roots. The black roots are quite dangerous to anyone who tarries too long wherever they happen to be. If anyone takes a short rest near them, or if the roots are hacked or otherwise damaged, they attack. Alright. And they deal 1d8 plus 4 piercing damage. Okay. Any creature hit by its roots is injected with the black sap and must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failure, they are poisoned. These roots, black roots, are poisonous. Dead goblins. A half dozen dead goblinoids lie among the black roots. They are part of the Great Garg's forces, killed by black roots before being found by another goblin patrol who also fell victim to the plant. Now, a larger contingent of the Great Garg's forces are coming to the Temple of the Beast to investigate. Moonwell. This Moonwell is a portal that leads to the Shadow Fae. But the portal can only be entered if someone is wearing one of the temple's animal masks and has transformed into an animal. If a creature tries to enter the Moonwell without a mask, the water is solid and therefore impenetrable. Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Anyone succeeding in Arcana or History or Religion check knows this information, and worshippers of the Earth Mother have a Moonshae Isles feature background, also known this with no check required. Okay. Who turned this Moonwell into a portal, though? I hope that gets answered, right? Like, these Moonwells have things done to them, but at times nobody tells you who done it, right? Okay. Animal mask. These masks are needed to get through the Moonwell into the Shadow Fae. How long you have to run this adventure and how many areas the character explore determines how many masks you give to the characters when they finish part of the temple. If you have 4 characters and only plan on playing for 2 hours, give the characters 2 masks each time they overcome an area of the temple. If there are 6 characters, give them 3. Alright, so basically this is how we're gonna run it. Okay. Interludes. The Great Garg's forces. The Great Garg has sent a couple of groups to look for the Temple of the Beast. The Warpikes and Grimjaw and his crew. Okay. The Warpikes are an optional group that can be used to add an extra level of interest, excitement, opportunity. Grimjaw and his crew are the ones who can make the adventure harder. The characters take a short rest. So we have Warpikes, Goblinoids, follows the Great Garg, and then we have Grimjaw. Follower of the Great Garg. Okay, why am I taking notes? Because again, in the future, we might be able to need this information. So if we're writing new adventures, we want to connect it to these events here, then we have notes, right? Okay, I'll just drink here. All right. The Warpikes. The Warpikes are a hobgoblin mercenary outfit. All right. Hobgoblin mercenary. It consists of a hobgoblin warlord named Ergen Dolgak. Okay. Ergen Dolgak, leader of the Warpikes. Ergen wants to secure the mask for the Great Garg, but not because he's loyal to the cause. He's being paid well for this. Okay, while he's not afraid to fight, Ergen is a mercenary at heart. He's not above taking money to walk away, especially if it seems like the fight will be difficult. A payoff of 50 gold pieces would be enough to get the Warpikes to walk away, while 100 gold pieces would buy some extra information. This information can be given from the What Does Ergen Know section. which is the next one. What does Ergen know? Ergen knows that the Great Gark was going to send another group to follow up. He's pretty sure it's a bugbear named Grimjaw and his flunkies. Grimjaw is named as such because he is missing skin from his lower jaw. Okay. A bugbear. Bugbear missing skin from his lower jaw. Okay. And then some adjustments in case we have to fight, so we're going to skip that. And then here's the information about the Great Gark's lieutenant. A lieutenant of the Great Gark. Grimjaw and his flunkies are some of the Great Gark's meaner and more competent. Wow, okay, that's good. We have competent thugs, that's always good. They consist of Grimjaw himself, which is a bugbear chieftain, and then 2 bugbears, 5 goblin bosses. Short rests. If we adventurers take a short rest, Grimjaw makes it to the Shadow Fae before us, making a deal with the Dark Treant. This means the characters must fight the Dark Treant along with Grimjaw and his flunkies at the same time. If they don't take a short rest, they encounter Grimjaw on the way out of the temple in the Moonwell room. And objective, Grimjaw wants to get the mask and secure the temple for the Great Gark, but he loves to hurt the non-goblins, especially the folk. And anyone from Sarifal, the kingdom, the fake kingdom of Sarifal in the Isle of Gwyneth. Okay. Nice. Okay. I hope we get an adventure where we fight the Great Gark. Wouldn't that be nice? Because there's a lot of, plotting being done by the Great Gark. So I hope, like in one of these trilogies, the Great Gark kind of shows up. And, kind of do like a Thanos MCU kind of move. Like, fine, I'll do it myself because these adventurers keeps defeating my minions. Right? Anyway. Let's see what we have here. Scene A. Let me adjust it a little bit. Okay, scene A. The test of the bat has 2 areas, the pillars and the stairs of the bat. These tests aren't working quite as intended though. The first test lets the test taker become a bat and understand how the echolocation of bats work. The second was to fly to the spirit bat without crashing and gaining the wisdom of the bat. The magic that turned the person taking the test into a bat has faded from the area, and now it's a deadly area for non-bats. Okay. The pillars are stalagmites, so stalagmites, so it's from going from ground to up, right? Rising out from the ground. Oh, it's written there. Okay. Each step is 10 feet tall and requires a strength athletics check to climb, as they are covered in slick bat guano, right? Failure costs 20 feet movement, but the check can be attempted again. Have you ever gone... Is it spelunking? Is that what you call it? Like when you go inside a cave... Then you go in one entrance and then you have to exit in another entrance. So I've done that before. I forgot the name of the area. But yeah, here in the Philippines, it's after Baguio. I forgot the name. Yeah, but it's after like city of Baguio. You have to go further. And then you go... I'm not sure if it's called spelunking, but yeah, you go inside the cave and then you have to get out on the other end. And it's like, I don't know, 3 hours, 4-hour thing. And there are places that are really tight. And if Like if you are a certain build, or you're not skinny enough, you're not gonna be able to go through, and you have to go back to where you came from, which is gonna suck. And then there are areas where you have to jump, because there are like areas where it's so deep. If you fall there, that's it, you die. And there's no road. There's a guide that you have to follow, right? So obviously an expert in traversing that area, but it is very, very dangerous place. And I remember, like, cause I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I don't really uh I stay at home, I play games, that's what I do. But so I'm not fit is basically what I'm trying to say. And like three-fourths of the way, you have to go uphill, and there are like hundreds of bats that live there, and the floor is just so slimy and sticky that you can easily like slip, hit your head in a rock, and then die. Right? So you have to be very, very careful. I don't even know why we've done it in the first place. And then you have to climb out. And if you don't climb out, you're gonna be stuck in that cave. So you have no choice. Right? And the guy tells you not to look up, because if you look up, then bat poop will just most probably like get into your mouth, and yeah, or your eyes, and then hello, hello hospital. Yeah, yeah. So that was an experience that I'm glad I survived it. But thinking back, when that happened, when we did it, it was very, very dangerous. I think that's gonna be a one-time thing for me. Because the tight spaces, the deep holes that you need to jump onto, and then man, a lot of scary stuff there. Yeah, and then if you don't, you're gonna get super tired, and if you give up, you're not gonna be able to get out of that cave, because no one's gonna carry you. If they carry you, that means you're gonna get heavier. It's gonna be hard for you to walk. And if you carry someone, yeah, you're gonna be hard for you to walk, and higher chances of you slipping, falling, dying. So yeah, it was a scary thing. Anyway, going back. So yeah, flashback in this test of the bat, getting like Batman origin flashback. Um, except I didn't become Batman. The pillars. Okay, we have that. Okay, it's pitch black here. Creatures and NPCs. So swarms of bats. In the pillar area, the ceiling is covered in thousands of bats. Anyone with a passive perception of 15 or more notices that the creatures are hanging on the ceiling. A quiet approach will keep the bats from waking and attacking. If the adventurers attempt to make their way across without waking the bats, they must make a dexterity stealth check. Okay. If the bats wake up, they swarm, turning into 6 swarm of bats and attack the characters until they are destroyed. The bat spirit use air elemental stats. Oh, okay. That looks like a bat, I'm assuming. It's not under the influence of the dark treant, but is compelled to conduct the test that it was created to give. In this new version of the test, the characters can pass the test by reaching the top of the stairs and reducing the spirit bat to under 10 hit points. The bat spirit cannot be killed, but reducing it to 0 hit points dispel it. It reincorporates at the end of its next turn with 20 hit points. If both objectives are fulfilled, the bat spirit settles down and presents the characters with one or more magical bat masks. See Appendix 4. Okay. So our objective here is the objective of the bat is to protect the temple and the world from the corruption, but is bound to this place and must obey the rules of its binding. What does it know? The bat spirit tells the characters that it knows some things about the situations in the temple, answering some questions, and can give us the following info. The temple has been corrupted by a malevolent creature that seeks to invade further the source of the black roots. The bat spirit, is unsure what the creature is, but its roots carry a black sludge that is corrupting influence. The wolf spirit has already been corrupted and killed the deer spirit. Oh no, the moonwell can only be traversed by using an animal mass to transform into a creature and then entering the moonwell. There are other masks in different spirit animals or in their sanctum. So now we have the bat mask. We're good. Now we can go to the wolf one, right? This one is so we're gonna go through the 4 areas, I'm assuming. All right, the test of the wolf. This one, the spirit of the bat said that the spirit of the wolf has been corrupted, but the magic still holds. The wolf spirit is no longer here, having hunted down and killed the deer spirit, which drove the wolf spirit into an insane frenzy and continues to this day. Okay. All right. The first area in this test is the field, a small pocket dimension that once turned test takers into wolves and let them hunt deer. This area has been corrupted. The second area was the wolf spirit's lair, where the test takers were judged as they learned about being a predator. Okay. This is a grassy field on a moonlight night. Taller grass surrounding the meadow. A dark miasma lingers in the air. Okay. There are 5 corrupted deer. Use quickling stats. Okay, that looks like deer. In the tall grass. They sprint out of the grass, attack, and retreat back into the grass. Once all the deers are dead, a way through the grass opens and a hole in the ground leads to the wolf's lair. Okay. So it's another combat basically that's happening here. Okay. The wolf's lair. This cavern is lit by moonlight that has no source, smelling of decay and death. In the middle of the room, a number of the black roots have burrowed through a platform surrounding by 4 pillars of wolf carvings. These roots have formed a simile of black tree. Okay? Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. Yeah, right? Facsimile. Okay. Close enough. The tree he breaks into 5 corrupted vine blights, okay, and 8 corrupted needle blights. These blights want nothing more than to kill the characters. These blights have black sap in them, and they deal damage to the target that must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be poisoned for 1 hour. A number of blights have wolf masks embedded in their bodies somewhere. See Appendix 4. Okay. And a cavern leads back to the main temple area, appearing the corrupted blights and defeated. Okay. So the mask will be with the blights, because we're not going to see the wolf here. Oh, maybe we're going to fight the wolf somewhere. Test of the Badger. A test of the Badger has been corrupted along with the Badger spirit. This first test has, again, we're not required to do all of these tests. If we only have like 2 hours to play this game, we just choose which one we like and then go to the next part. But since we're reading the whole adventure, we're going through all of them, right? Okay. So also the Badger has been corrupted. So the wolf and the Badger has been corrupted. Along with the Badger, or along with the wolf spirit, I'm assuming. The first test has the characters turn into badgers and navigate a small labyrinth, but there are corrupt roots in the small labyrinth trying to kill them. The second part would have been a test with the badger spirit, but it has been overtaken by the power of the black sap and is a raging beast right now. Cleansing the badger spirit might be possible, but killing it is more likely. Alright, are we going to save the badger? Or are we going to kill it? Let's see. The labyrinth is filled with black roots, and the characters must navigate it while they try to stay alive. There's a wolf in the tunnels that hunt the characters in their badger forms. Alright. Once the characters enter the labyrinth, give them their badger stat block. So we all become badgers. We roll initiative. And then the black roots aren't as big here as and are less harmful as a result. When we leave this area and move to another area with a badger spirit, they are changed back to their normal forms. Okay. So there's a corrupted wolf that hunts us while we are badgers, so that's going to be dangerous. And then the black roots, they deal 1 piercing damage instead of the 1d8 1 plus something. But it still injects a black sap and makes us poisoned if we fail our constitution saving throw. Alright. The corrupted wolf is part of the test and just wants to eat the badgers. Okay. Badger spirit. Okay. Who's the badger spirit? This chamber has the corrupted badger spirit in it. It also has several giant tunnels in it that the badger spirit can maneuver through. The badger spirit uses the mammoth. Oh, that's a big badger. Alright. And is the only enemy here. Corrupted by the black sap. It looks like pyrexian oil or something if you play Magic the Gathering. With black cilia-like tendrils sprouting from its form. What's cilia? So... oh, those tentacle thingies from like bacteria or something? Or microbes? Like membrane stuff? Ooh, I've just Googled image it and okay. Not a good move. So they're corrupted by a black sap with black cilia-like tendrils sprouting from its form. Oh, now I'm imagining it, and now it looks disgusting. If the badger spirit deals damage, a character must succeed on a constitution saving throw or become poisoned for 1 hour. Radiant damage used on the badger spirit visibly destroys some of the black tendrils, okay? If the badger has less than 15 hit points and radiant damage is done to it, the badger is cleansed of the black tendrils and becomes itself again. Nice. The badger spirit is out of its mind and wants nothing more than the pain and madness to stop, but it can only express it through violence unless someone figures out how to communicate with it. What does it know? The creature that is the source of the black roots is the Dark Treant. The Dark Treant lives in the Shadow Fae, and it is only one of the badger has, and it is the only one the badger has encountered. All right. And the last one, I think, right? Scene D, the test of the deer. Let's go through it. Need some nerds there. Alright, the test of the deer. When the wolf spirit was corrupted, it grew hungry. Entering the test of the deer to find and eat the deer spirit. The test itself has not been corrupted, however. The first step is a gauntlet of speed, while the second part is a test of agility and leaping, which leads to the corrupt wolf spirit. Oh, this is where we're gonna fight the wolf spirit. The gauntlet of speed. The first test. This long hallway has a number of wooden and metal portcullises that drop every 3 feet and can be overcome with speed and clever thinking. Portcullis trap. Level 8, dangerous trap. Okay. A series of plates are embedded in the ground all the way down, triggering one plate. So pressure plate triggers every portcullis in the line from the onwards. It drops down from the ceiling. And if a character fails to perform one of the countermeasures, they take 22 3d10 plus 6 piercing damage when they are struck by a portcullis. Okay. How do we... what's the countermeasure for this? With a perception check, it reveals that the drop gates from the ceiling and the pressure plates all the way down. It will take 1 day to disable every pressure plate in the hallway. Running the gauntlet as fast as possible or figuring out a way to avoid the pressure plates are both feasible. And you must succeed on a athletics check to make it all the way to the end without being crushed by one of the portcullises on the way down. Is it like the portcullises are next to each other, like falls like one after the other? At the far end of the hall around the corner is a hidden lever that deactivates the trap for 24 hours. And a character at the far end who searches can find the lever with an investigation check. If someone has been struck, the portcullises which fell behind the person rise back up, allowing them to return to the test entrance. Alright, the rest of the portcullises then resets, rising to the ceiling. In the event that the characters make it all the way to the end, all of the portcullises reset themselves. Got it. Floating rock platform. Oh, so it's another trap. Looking like little looking like little inverted mountains, these floating rock platform test agility and power. As soon as someone jumps to the first or second platform, it begins to descend. Alright, so this is like a ninja. I forget what's the name of it, but you know that ninja test that you show where there's like different obstacles that they have to overcome. I think this is what it feels like that. As someone jumps, alright, so it descends and tip downward to the ground, the platform sinks and tip as soon as something weighing more than 30 pounds lands on them, dumping whatever is on it into a 60-foot pit. Okay. So it triggers if we get like 30 more pounds on the platform. The platform instantly drops 10 feet and starts to tip until the surface is vertical, dropping anything on it towards the ground. Alright. The fall is 60 feet, so 6d6. Take 6d6 damage if you fall. Understand the magic surrounding the platform, and we need to do athletics, acrobatics check. Allows the character to make a jump or whenever they wish to jump to the next one. They fall into the pit if they fail. You can bypass it if you can teleport, flying across the area, or making yourself weigh less than 30 pounds. Okay, so basically just jump one at a time really quick before you fall. Okay. On the race dais, at the far end of the room, is the wolf spirit. Use wyvern stats, remaining invisible until the character on the stone floor of the dais. The wolf spirit does not seek a fight and is willing to give the characters what they need, as long as they do not attack it. Oh, that's new. The wolf spirit wants the temple cleansed from this evil. It also wants to know why the characters are there. Oh, okay, so it's not here to fight. The spirit was corrupted by the black roots, which attacked it in the sanctum of its testing area. In the throes of primal hunger, it made its way here and ate the deer spirit. The act giving it back some semblance of sanity, but it's not quite all together and could lose itself any moment. And it gives the characters the deer mask uh, if we just talk to it or kill it and are secreted away into the race dais it rests upon to help them cleanse the temple. All right, so let's look at Appendix 4, right? Oh, there are stats with it. Player handouts. All right, so Badger Mask. This mask allows the wearer to turn into a badger while within the Temple of the Earth Mother. Takes an action, put it on, shapeshift. Unlike shapeshifting, if the wearer is reduced to 0 hit points while wearing the mask, they don't revert back to their normal form. The wearer, what happens then? If you drop to 0 hit points, do you die? And then we have the Badger stats. It takes an action to put it on or remove and shapeshift. We don't go back. As long as we're wearing the mask, we don't go back. So we die if we're wearing it. Right? Oh, wow. So someone has to remove our mask so we can go back. If we're unconscious while wearing the mask, we can go into a death saving throw and then die. Okay. All right, that is dangerous. So the badger one where you're being hunted by a wolf, you better run because yeah. The wearer has the following it reduces your like shapeshifting. If the wearer is reduced to 0 hit points while wearing the mask, they don't revert back to their normal form. Wow, okay. Too bad we don't have art for the different mask, right? That would have been cool. Anyway, Shadow Fae. So now that we got the mask, we passed the test from those animal spirits. We can now go in to the Shadow Fae and fight the Dark Treant, right? So setting description. This is for 30 minutes. The Shadow Fae is a place of twilight, darkness, and things that just sit out of sight. The Shadow Fae is a force of horror movies. Oh, what? What? The Shadow Fae is the forest of horror movies. Okay? Where ephemeral horrors lurk at the edges of what one can see. In order to get here, the characters must each have gotten one of the masks, used them to transform into an animal, and then made their way through the Moonwell at the hollow tree trunk. To cleanse the Moonwell of its corruption, the Dark Treant must be destroyed. And what do we see once we get to the Shadow Fae? The clearing in the grove is 75 feet across. The trees surrounding it create a rough circular clearing. Black roots cover the entirety of the clearing and run all the way to and through the Moonwell. Perpetual twilight lingers as if the sun has set for some time, the last remnants of light coloring the sky a dark purple. The area is treated as having dim lighting. On its first turn, the Dark Treant animates the Black Roots as a bonus action, affecting the entire area as an entangle spell. Oh wow, the whole area is going to be entangle spell, while ignoring the effects itself. From that point on, the Black Roots act on initiative 15 and attacks one of the characters. 1 piercing damage, constitution throw, or take 2d6 poison damage. If the roots take 40 points of damage, they don't act on their next initiative, acting as if they're stunned. The roots have the same defenses as the Dark Treant, as well as disadvantage and saving throws. Okay. The Dark Treant, which uses the Treant stats, that has legendary actions. Nice. What's the legendary action I want to see? Alright, the Dark Treant can do 2 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Slam and Rock. Okay, so it's just the attacks, basically. Okay. Thought it has something really cool. And then we just fight it. Okay, I guess. One of the branches of the Dark Train is humming with power. It can be broken off and function as a staff of the Python, a black and crooked 6 foot long staff that oozes a black tar like venom at twilight. Within this temple of the Earth Mother, the powers of the mask are active. They cease functioning when taken out of the temple at the end of this adventure. A wrap up, concluding the adventure. On defeating the Dark Train, the Black Roots persist, but when returning to the Moonwell, they see the roots have begun to harden, crack, and turn into something similar to wood ash. The Moonwell clears itself from the dark roots, making it easier, making it a much easier trip back to the temple. The well has been cleansed. From there, us adventurers can travel back to wherever we met Frug Rutnog and tell her what happened. She's impressed and pleased with us, with our story, and pays us for our services. Wow, is that it? That's the adventure? I think that's it. Frug looks Fru, not Frug. So Fru Rutnog, yeah. Fru looks awesome. I like her art. Yeah. As a half orc druid sent as an emissary of Branwen Moonsinger to liaise. I think Branwen Moonsinger is like the great druid of Alaron, right? Regarding the return of the five temples, she is socially. We read that. Personality: short-tempered and uncomfortable in civilization. Ideal: preservation of the natural beauty of the Moonshaes. That's nice. Bond: dedication to Branwen Moonsinger. So she's loyal to Branwen. Flaw: prone to outbursts and appropriate behavior. Okay. And then we have the monster stats here. What else do we have? Oh, why do we just have a blank yellow sidebar there? We have the map of Alaron, or at least, yeah, the area where the Durnal Forest is at. We have the Temple of the Beast, which is nice. Oh, yeah, so the Gauntlet of Speed, the portcullises are like right one after the other. And you have to be really fast, or else you're gonna get like either impaled by the portcullises, or your way is gonna be blocked by one of them. Okay, I see it now. The pillars, the labyrinth. I see it. And then this area of the Shadow Fae with the roots and everything. Got it. Player handouts. So the Badger Mask, we have that. Rewards. So Staff of the Python is one of them. One of the branches of the Dark Train was humming with power. It can be broken off and function as a Staff of the Python. Black and crooked, 6 foot long staff that oozes a black tar like venom. That's a long staff, by the way. And then that's it. Holy crap, that's it. This is the last page, page 26, Dungeon Master Tips. That's the adventure. We're done. We're done with the Temple of the Beast. What? Okay. So, I guess that's it. It's a bit. I think it's the format, because again, these are written during season 8. Again, there was a big change, a big shift on how Adventures League adventure modules are written. And as you can see, there's like episodes and then bonus objectives. And I'm not sure if that's one of the hindrances as to why these adventures are short, which is not a bad thing, mind you. But the thing here is, you have this is the second time, I think, the second time where we've read where there's a bad guy, the enemy, like the main villain in the adventure module, but then it doesn't get fleshed out, which is a problem for me because here you have a cool mystery villain, the Dark Treant, right? So you have this living tree that corrupts the land and the moonwell from the Shadow Fae. And then you actually get the chance to meet that villain. And then but as soon as you meet it, you just fight it. No dialogue, no background story, no nothing about this Dark Train, right? No build up. Uh so it's just like a putting a punching bag at the end of the session. Hello, extraterrestrial god. Welcome to the stream. You just reached like the end of our stream. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this stream is this adventure went really fast. Uh what else? But yeah, that's my only gripe about this adventure. Like you have a really cool villain, I think, at least like it doesn't he, like you call the villain the Dark Treant, right? And it has this weird roots, right? That corrupts the area, corrupts the Moonwell, the material plane, the Moonshae Isles, and then we finally meet that Dark Treant, and then nothing. Like who like we don't get to see more of its like power, how strong it is. Yeah, sure, legendary action and all that, but basically there's not enough uh things for us to explore and learn about this villain. It's like a kind of one and done deal, which makes me sad for the NPC because uh they don't get enough spotlight. So that's it. But the Temple of the Beast itself, how it was set up, I love that. The spirits, like the spirits have been fleshed out more rather than the Dark Train. As you can see here in the Temple of the Beast, you have the wolf, right? What happened to the wolf got corrupted, so it did something. It ate the spirit of the deer, and then when we met the wolf, we learned that it gained some semblance of sanity after eating the spirit of the deer. So that one is cool, right? So the spirit of the wolf kind of got fleshed out more, and I guess that's why they have the wolf here as the cover for this adventure. So that one was great. That part, the temple part is great. It kind of felt like a Ninja Warrior. I think that's it, Ninja Warrior episode, and you have to pass all these tests. And then it gives you an additional, like, if you want more combat, you want more of the followers of the Great Gark to intervene into the with the adventurers' plans, then you have that as well, right? They were not fleshed out again. Grimjaw and the War Pikes, right? And again, they were told in the adventure, but like, there's nothing else after that. So that is my only concern. So we can even say that Grimjaw survive. Oh no. Because Grimjaw, you meet them before you go to the Shadow Fae or with the Dark Train. But the War Pikes, you can say that they didn't get there, or they got paid off. We paid them and they survived, so they're good, right? And yeah, that's basically it. We're done. This is gonna be a short stream. I can do more work after this. Okay. I feel good that it's short. I feel bad that the NPCs, some of the NPCs, like the villain NPCs, didn't get as much spotlight as it should, right? Or I feel like they should have gotten more screen time, probably. More cutscenes with the enemy, things like that. But yeah, that is it. So tomorrow is Thursday. I will have to check because I have to drive my in-laws to the airport at 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m. I'm not sure. But basically, they have an early flight. I have to drive them there. And we'll see if I can stream or not. But if I can stream, then that means we're gonna go to the next adventure, Moon7-2. Wow, the Temple of the Sun. That's the next one. Oh, so we're doing the temples. But if this is the trilogy, there are 5 temples, right? Or 5 temples. I guess we're only gonna address 3 temples then. Okay. Temple of the Sun is the next one. So either tomorrow, I hope we can stream tomorrow. Especially if the adventures are these short. Yeah, let's go for it. And then if not, then we're gonna continue next week. Yeah. So that is it for me. Again, I'm Paul Gabbett, DMPaulG in social media. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I'm an adventure writer. I'm one of the story leads for the Moonshae Isles Involvement games, together with Savannah Houston McIntyre. I'm also a local tabletop RPG event organizer here in the Philippines as part of the Greasy Snitches. And we stream Lore Academia every Monday to Thursday, or we try our best to stream every Monday through Thursday, 11 p.m. Manila, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you want more information, if what's going on with stuff, you can follow me on Discord. And yep, is the bot not doing anything? Give me a second here. It's not following the commands. Oh, it's not on. There we go. Let's try it again. Let's go with the socials. There we go. So you can follow me on Twitter, YouTube, want to see the VODs, Discord, and Facebook. And yeah, let's get the link. Where can you find this adventure? You can find the adventure right here. We'll see. Moon7-1. So you can get it in DM's Guild. And I'm trying to find it. Temple of the Beast. There we go. Alright. So with Temple of the Beast, it's a silver bestseller. That's awesome. And it's gonna be right here. Here is the link. Alright. And that is it for me, everyone. See you tomorrow, hopefully. If not, then we'll go and continue this next week, Monday. Again, Lore Academia, Monday to Thursdays, 11 p.m. Manila, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. All right. Again, Paul Gabbett, DMPaulG, and I'll see you, fellow lore sages. Peace.